Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to episode 35 in Be With Me. We're in the book of First Corinthians, and I'm going to title today something like Discipline or Disqualified. So the idea is that we need a dose of discipline because at risk is our disqualification from the good stuff of Christianity. Now, he's already talked about that, which is he's spending all this effort to win and to witness. And he's saying now that there might be a dose of self-control that is necessary. That is, we need to be holding back, restraining, and exhibiting self-command. It's a forward-facing effort. It requires activity and planning. And just sorry to tell you this, but this is essential Christianity. This is 101 Christianity. This is the hard stuff. This is where you get up every day and you got more of it to do. I always respect people that, have a discipline in their life and either like listen to the podcast or show up on church every Sunday or read their Bible regularly because it exposes some hard things in ourselves. So here it is. This is from 1 Corinthians chapter 9. I'm going to start in verse 22 just to finish what we did last week or yesterday. To the weak I became weak, that I may win the weak. I've become all things to all people, that by all means I might save some. So that's his big goal. I do it all for the sake of the gospel, that I may share with them in its blessings. So his goal is I want other people to have the blessings of the gospel. He wants people to have a blessing of the Lord. So what's required? Self-control. Here we go. Verse 24. Do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one receives the prize? So run that you may obtain it. Every athlete exercises self-control in all things. They do it to receive a perishable wreath, but we an imperishable. So I do not run aimlessly. I do not box as one beating the air, but I discipline my body and keep it under control, lest after preaching to others, I myself should be disqualified. So let's talk about athletes for a second. Athletes are those who exhibit self-control. And you think, well, if they're a runner, well, did they just discipline themselves in running? No, every great runner that I know also controls their eating, the volume of their eating, their calorie intake, their macros, their nutrition. They discipline their sleep. They discipline their schedule. They discipline their habits and their body. They discipline themselves at dessert time. They discipline themselves with how much they drink alcohol. They plan their vacations in a certain way. They have particular goals. They have different seasons of tapering and getting ready and training. So great runners aren't just great runners. They're also good discipliners in all aspects of their life. And he says, watch runners and athletes. They do all that stuff for something that is perishable. It's all for naught, if you will. And in comparison, Christianity is all for everything. So it's worth it. The discipline of my body, the exercising of self-control in all things is worth it. So that may be required in all kinds of different areas. Who I have sex with, who I think about having sex with. These are all areas of self-control. Eating. Is my eating to live or do I live to eat? Stewardship of my priorities. Sleeping. Where do I put my body in? What time of day? What to do? What I do with my eyes? What books? What media? What words on the page? What pictures? What attitude do I go through life with? Or all the T's. How I discipline my tongue. How I discipline my trust or my entrusting. How I discipline my treasure, my money, my resources, and how I use my time. So my point is there's all kinds of areas that we need as Christians to be disciplined. So if you don't know what area that you need to discipline, ask someone who lives with you, or if someone did live with you, what would they say? Or if we went to your mother, let's say, what she would say would be your area of greatest a discipline need, that is. Where does this person need to be self-controlled? All right, so the reason that effort is put towards disciplining is so that our ministries may not be disqualified. So Paul has said a couple of times already in his ministry, imitate me, imitate Timothy. And he's trying to win souls. He's trying to participate and work with God, if you will, in the effort to bring people to the Lord. He's talked about his efforts to bring the weak to the Lord, and the Jew and the non-Jew. So he's saying, by all means, I know what he means theologically, that I might save some, that my ministry might participate. So he's trying to get to the point where his character, his tongue, his trust, his treasure is disciplined enough that it doesn't get in the way of his ministry. All right, so bottom line here, we are all in a multi-pronged discipline effort. If you're not, you should be. My old pastor used to say no to your body at least once a day. Start there, at least discipline once a day. Here, Paul is doing more than that. He's thinking about discipline, his whole discipline profile. And we should be thinking about it too. What are we doing with the resources that we are giving? And some of them need to be marshaled and wrangled and put under control. Why? Because we're at risk. We're at risk of aimlessness. We're at risk of airboxing. And that doesn't get us to our purpose. So Christianity, it asks a lot. I agree. Why does it ask a lot? Because there's a big prize at stake, and the discipline is worth it. Your witness is worth it. Your effectiveness is worth it. All right, so we're pinning one thing to our chest today and walking around with it and thinking about it. Here it is. If there's one area that potentially does or could qualify me from prize winning, it is blank. Let's put that area and think about an area that needs discipline. So again, if there's one area that potentially could or would disqualify me from prize winning, it is blank. Let's think about that and then say no to your body, probably in that area: tongue, trusting, treasure, time, body, whatever it is. Let's say no to our body once today in that area. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being courageous enough to do this. I'll see you tomorrow.